Good morning, my friends. Welcome to yoga today. Today is September 23rd. This is the first day of fall. So before we begin our practice, I'm going to invite you to go find, for your practice today, a cup. This is my cup, made by my potter friend, Phyllis Knapp. It's beautiful. It's porcelain. I love the color. Feels good. So find a cup that speaks to you today. And also for your practice today, you'll need either a yoga strap, like so, or a reasonable facsimile, something you can use as a strap. You can use a scarf, which is nice because they're soft and nice to hold in your hand. Or you can take a bath towel like this. It's more bulky, but the length is nice and you can use it like this. So if you'd like to pause now, go ahead and pause right here before we do anything else and go find your strap, scarf, towel, and a sweet cup to use for your practice. And we'll see you when you get back. Okay, so here we are. So yes, today is the first day of fall, and it's a transitional time, a time when it's kind of an ironic time, really, because we are, in nature, we're beginning to let go of the greenness and the opulence of summer, that lush green, and trees are beginning to let go and drop their leaves. And even though nature is still greening out there, you know that within the plant, the tree, there's that awareness that it's time to gather in, a time to be quieter, a time to settle, and maybe you lose your blossoms, lose your leaves, and become dormant for the winter so that you can spiral up with some new growth in the spring. And also, in addition to that, there's the other rhythm of harvesting. So this time of the year, maybe we can think about what we've harvested, what seeds we planted way back in the spring, and what in our lives are we harvesting now? Those are big questions. So last week in our cup study, remember we're using Cup of Our Life by Joyce Rupp. Awesome book. If you ever want to get it, go through it yourself. The whole thing is lovely. So last week we talked about being vessels for God's presence, container for God living within. And in that ironic rhythm that we experience in nature, we also are going to explore the opposite of that this week. The concept of thirsting. So there are a couple different ways of thirsting, or many ways of thirsting, and I'll share with you from Joyce's writing today, Joyce Rupp, where she says that one type of thirsting are for the things of the ego, such as recognition, knowledge, and power, and success. That's difficult because it seems like there's a never-ending thirst for those things. Those are more difficult. But when we shake loose from those things of the ego, we're more open to receive the things we might thirst for in our spirit. So she says, what are some of the thirsts of a deeper nature? What are the longings that arise from the core of our being? What are the yearnings of our heart in relationship to God? So she named some things, and these things might be peace of mind and heart, healing of old wounds, greater acceptance of ourselves, justice for anyone who is exploited, discovery of who we truly are, harmony with our families and our workplace, wisdom to make good choices, forgiveness of ourselves and others, freedom from false messages of our mind, reverence and enthusiasm for life. Last week we talked about enthusiasm, and the word enthusiasm comes from entheos, being in God, God in us. Wow. A willingness to hear God's voice. So today we're going to look at thirsting. I want to remind you that when Jesus was on the cross, he thirsted as we do. In one way, he was losing so much liquid volume in his body that he literally thirsted. He needed something to drink, something for that parched mouth. But in his heart, and I never thought about this until I read about it in the last year or so, Jesus was thirsting for souls. He poured himself out on the cross because he was thirsting for us. He was thirsting for you and for me to have a relationship with God the Father. Whew, that's a big thirst. And he went through a lot. He went through so much to quench that thirst within him. So, as there are many ways to be thirsty. So I invite you today to allow your practice to help you notice any places inside that is parched, any places that are parched in your body, in your spirit, in your mind, your thoughts. In what ways do you need God to come in all of his juiciness and quench your thirst? Those are big questions. But I invite you to explore that today with me on the mat. So let's go ahead and rest back on your mat. And as we move through our practice, again, notice places that might be a little dry today, a little in need of God's presence. And the great thing is that Jesus is there with us, longing to help us quench those thirsts for him, for the deeper things of life. So we'll rest down. And I invite you there to settle in and become comfortable. You can take a pillow under your knees if you have one, or maybe bend your knees if that feels better. And if your knees are bent, I invite you to separate your feet, maybe almost mat's width apart, and let your knees drop toward each other so you can really let the legs rest into one another so you don't have to hold on in the hips. So I invite you today to look around, notice where you are. What do you see in your surroundings this morning? Maybe there's something in a very familiar place that will jump out at you that you really hadn't noticed much lately. Just look, where are you? And drawing your gaze to center. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, please do. If not, soften your gaze and begin to listen. What sounds do you hear? Quieter sounds, louder sounds? Just listen. Becoming aware of the atmosphere in your room. There's the air that surrounds us. We breathe in a place where God lives and hovers and supports and notices and sees you. And truly, you are seen today. You are known. You are loved. You are held. Sacred space where you rest. How does that feel for you today in your body? Where does the mind go when you think about those things? You are seen, you are known, you are loved, you are held. And then noticing your body resting here. What do you bring with you to the mat today? Maybe you're very aware today of places that need some support, some breath. So making a deal with yourself. No judgment, just follow your body's cues today for what is good for you, what will serve you, what will nourish all your tissues, your heart, your mind. And then noticing how your body feels resting here, the mat coming up to support you underneath. Allowing yourself to settle in your back body, back of your head cradled. Shoulders resting down. Maybe you can feel your shoulder blades pouring into the mat a little bit, becoming heavier and settling, and allowing your belly to rest here. How does it feel to release tension in your abdominal muscles? Noticing your hips, your thighs, knees, and that soft, sweet space behind your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, feet, and toes. Noticing your thighs, the front of your thighs, your quadriceps. Maybe allowing them to soften a little bit here. So after that gentle sweep of your body, how do you feel? Are you noticing any changes occurring now just by noticing, giving your body some attention and awareness? And so turning your vision now to your inner landscape, begin to notice your breath moving in, moving out. The sweet rhythm of the breath. As we talk about the rhythm of seasons, we also have rhythms in our bodies. We have the rhythm of the breath, the rhythm of the heart, rhythm of digestion, of waking and sleeping. All of life is rhythm. So notice, as you sip your breath in, that juiciness of God into your body, can you see it beginning to address those dry places, places that might be congested or in need of softening, openness? Take a minute to just really notice the in-breath and the out-breath and how your body responds. And so now maybe beginning to lengthen out your inhale. You can rest your hands on your belly as a soft, warm reminder to relax there and allow the in-breath to expand the abdominal muscles as you take your breath deeply and fully into your lungs. Maybe your rib cage will feel an expansion here, a settling or an opening in those muscles between your ribs. The intercostals might begin to stretch out as you take your inhale. And allow your exhale to settle it all in. The rib cage might snuggle back into the midline. Notice the filling. Notice the emptying. Maybe going back to a memory of the filling of spring and summer. And now the emptying and the softening of fall. The receiving of water and that thirst that always comes as we become in need of filling. Might be a little bit parched. Breathing in, breathing out. And I'll share with you as you rest in your breath today from Psalm 63. This is the verse that Joyce Rupp gives us today in the cup of our life. So settling into a place of listening, of breathing, awareness. Oh God, you are my God. I seek you. I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. I'm going to read that again. Notice maybe what words or word shines for you today. What jumps out? What looks for your attention today in this verse. Oh God, you are my God. I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So resting in that verse for just a moment, which part of it might have jumped out for you today, ask yourself why. What might this verse be telling you today about what your needs are? What is God saying to you today? And how would you like to respond this morning? So we're resting on our mat, and we'll begin by just taking a big stretch in. I'm going to invite you to have your strap or your scarf handy, your sash, your towel, whatever it is brought with you today. So we're stretching out, reaching out end to end. Good. How does that feel today? And then coming back to center, we'll draw knees into our chest. And maybe take your hands to your kneecaps here and rock side to side. Noticing the floor coming up to support your back. And maybe giving it a little massage back and forth as you roll from one side to the other. You can feel your rib cage rolling side to side, just gently. It doesn't have to be big. You can feel your hips settling side to side. And then make your way back to center, and we'll keep the right knee in. Maybe support it underneath your knee if that's comfortable, or on top if you'd like, whatever feels better. Let's drop the left foot to the floor. And then stretch out your left leg nice and long as you continue to press out through the soles of both feet. And so we'll take our right knee in a little closer if that's accessible. Reaching out long through your left leg and noticing where you feel this morning. Breathe. How does the breath feed your body today? Where are you thirsty? Allow your breath to be like that living water that comes in and juices up your body and softens your thoughts. And then we'll plant the sole of the right foot on the mat, draw the left knee in, snuggle it towards you, press out through your left foot, and lengthen through your right leg. And now we'll settle in here and breathe. Notice softening your shoulders, softening your jaw, your face. Good. And then we'll plant the sole of your left foot on the floor and bend your right knee so both knees are bent. And we'll just rock knees side to side a little bit here. Good. So let's take hold of our strap or scarf or towel, and if you have a strap, just unroll it and rest the sole of your right foot into the strap. So your arms are going to reach up and take hold of either side of your strap or scarf, whatever you're using, and press the sole of your right foot up. So the left knee is bent, and we're just exploring here for a moment. So allow your shoulders to settle into the mat underneath, soften there. Allow your right leg to press up through the sole of your right foot and see how it feels to draw the toes toward you a little bit here. So you might feel that all along the back of your leg. So without jamming the joint of your right knee, just come to a gentle, maybe just a micro softness there, just a little softness, but also sending energy out through your leg, up through the sole of your foot to the sky. Spread your toes out. And we'll just breathe here for a moment. What do you feel? Just notice. Easy deep breaths in. And I'm going to invite you here to maybe swivel your foot around, in and out, maybe circle it a little bit. Here, notice how that changes the sensation in your leg. Maybe a little flex and point. Good. And then we'll take a breath and press the sole of your right foot up. On your exhale, allow the knee to bend, hold on to your scarf strap, draw the knee in toward your underarm area. So you're in kind of a half happy baby here. And on your inhale, press up, lengthen. Maybe draw the leg a little closer. Exhale, bend your knee in towards you. Inhale, press up. Exhale in. Inhale, press up and hold here. Maybe draw the leg in a little bit closer now. So without pulling on the strap so strongly, kind of let it go. And think about taking the strap up and away this way. So you don't want to be jamming your hip joint down. You want to think about taking your strap so that you can draw it back and behind you without a lot of pressure into the leg. So you're just kind of pulling towards you without pressing down or pulling down a lot. Breathe. Good. And then we'll take both sides of the strap in your right hand. Take your left hand to the front of your left hip and let your elbow on the left side just rest on the mat. So let's press up through the sole of your right foot. On your exhale, let's sail the right leg out to the side. Here comes my foot towards you. Left leg drops out to the side. So both hips are grounding now, just settling into the mat. Shoulders are broad, and you're just going to press out through the sole of your right foot and allow some opening in the inner thighs. You want to maintain an integrity of your belly here. Abdominal muscles gather in a little to support your back. And breathe. Shoulders are relaxed. Press out. Notice how you feel here. And back off a little bit if that's too much of a strain. Just kind of move it around, see how your body is today. Think about just a gentle release in the inner thighs. And then on your inhale, we'll take that leg up. Change hands on your strap here. Let your right hand drop down beside you. So notice that your left knee is bent here. You can stay there if you like, or you can press out long through the left leg as you press up through the right to the sky. And then very simply drape your right leg across the right. What did I say? Wait. Drape your right leg across the left. So you're not lifting your hip up off the ground. You're grounding through your right hip, but just a gentle diagonal. So you might feel this very strongly in the outside of your right glute or your hip or your iliotibial band that goes from your knee down to the hip socket there. Check in, sisters and brothers, just see how that's feeling for you today. And we'll take our leg back up to center. Release the strap, and you're going to bend your right knee. Place the right ankle across the left knee. So you're going to bend your left knee if it isn't already bent, and then place your right ankle across. Take your right hand to your right thigh and gently press it away from you. And then let it go. Press it away. How does that feel? And then release it. So we'll come to center here. If this is where you want to stay, stay here. If you're really feeling that in the outside of your right hip, just stay here. If you like, you can hold on to the outsides of your knees and pick up your left foot off the mat and draw the knee towards you. So that will increase the sensation probably in your right hip. So you can hold on to the outsides of your knees. You can reach through your legs, interlace your fingers on the back of your left thigh and draw that knee towards you a little more fully. So notice where your shoulders are. Soften your face, soften your shoulders. And breathe. All the while, maybe concentrating on wherever you feel this. And then as you breathe, allowing that place to soften, thinking about creating space, maybe sending light there or warmth or ease. God's presence, where are you thirsty in this pose? And then we'll release the left foot to the mat, stretch your right leg up, take your arms, reach up, shoulders settle, take a breath here. And then lowering your right foot slowly to the floor, take your arms up over your head and reach end to end. Yes, siree. One end to the other. Yep. And then we'll release that. Take your right foot in, both knees are bent, and we'll just rock side to side a little bit and take your strap again, and we'll take it around the left foot. So if we can remember what we did on the other side, we'll do it over here and press up through the sole of your left foot, right knee's bent, and the sole of your right foot's on the floor, so feel that. Notice where your hips are. So if you find right now that your left hip is hiking up towards your rib cage, just press it away so that your hip pointers are straight across one to the other. So your hips are settled, pressing up through the sole of your left foot now. So again, arms are reaching, but shoulders are settled into the mat. Take a moment to notice and breathe. Long, full, deep breath. Easy in, easy out. So how is this registering in through the back of your leg? Maybe take a little point, a little flex, a little swivel, check in. We'll do more for the feet later. Just going to press up. And on your exhale, draw the knee into your shoulder, bend the knee into a little half happy baby. On your inhale, press up. And maybe draw the leg a little closer in if that's accessible. See if your leg wants to go there. If it doesn't, great. Don't force it. So take a breath here when you're ready. Press up. Exhale, draws the knee in towards your underarm area there. And inhale, press up. Exhale, knee comes in. Snuggle in towards you. Inhale, press up and lengthen toward the sky, sole of the foot presses. And now take your strap and pull it not so much down and towards you, but lift your arms up, lengthen your arms, and just gently draw that leg in a little closer if you can. All the while pressing the left hip down toward the foot of your mat. So you don't want to hike the left hip up. Breathe. Easy breath. Good. And then we'll take both ends of your strap, scarf, towel, into the left hand. Let your right hand drop down beside you for support. And if you like, you can keep the right knee bent, or you can lengthen it out along the floor. And so we'll take, on your next exhale, the left leg out to the side, all the while noticing how that feels for you. So as you're here, explore. Send your thoughts from your head down through your body and to the inner thigh on the left leg. Your right leg is energized. Belly is drawn in gently to support your back. Hips are settled, shoulders broad. Breathe. Explore. Maybe press out a little through your left heel, your right heel, toes spread. And on your inhale, when you're ready, drawing that leg, your left leg up to center. Let's change hands on your strap. This time, take your left hand down beside you, and very simply, with a long left leg, just let it, on the diagonal, drop across the right leg. So where do you feel it on this side? You might want to swivel your foot around here too. Flex and point, play, explore. Good. Oh boy, yes. And so we'll take your, just lift your left leg up to center here. What do we do? Pull it in a little bit closer again. And bend your knee a little bit to release your strap. And we're going to press the sole of your left foot up. Fingertips come up to reach. Take a breath here. On your exhale, your leg will lower with strength and energy down to the mat as your arms come up over your head. Reaching out end to end. Oh, yes. And notice how your body feels here. Ooh, press it out. Good. And then we'll bend both knees again carefully. This time, the left foot will come across the right knee. And see how you feel here. Your left hand will press your thigh away from you a little bit. And let it go. Press it out. Breathe and let it go. And then if you're comfortable here, stay. Just breathe and soften. If you'd like, you can hold on outsides of your knees, draw your knees toward you. So notice that both feet are flexed here. We're just not hanging out. We want to have some energy through the soles of your feet. Draw the knees in and breathe. You may even want to just kind of sway the knees side to side, rock a little bit. That's always fun to do, to change sensation, and notice how that changes your awareness of your body. And then come back to center if you've been rocking. Draw the knee towards you. And place the sole of your foot on the floor. And take your left leg up. And bend the knee in, both knees in. And we'll rock over onto your side, facing your screen. And take a moment to settle there. So I'm going to sit up while you rest there for a moment. I'm going to close this door. Yes, so here you are resting on your side. So notice how your body feels right now. Do you feel that maybe a little bit of that thirst, that those crunchy places might be a little more open, a little bit more receptive to that juiciness, whatever juiciness you need this morning, into the heart, into the mind, into your spirit today. So becoming more receptive as we live and move. So let's come on to all fours. Is that right? No, we're not going to come to all fours. I knew something was not right. So we're going to come to all, so sitting, yes, and take your blanket or your towel, whatever you have, you can perch on it if you'd like to sit. Yeah, so we're going to do some self-care today, some real juicing up here of our bodies. So come on up and sit up nice and tall here at a comfortable seated place. If you need to take folded towels or pillows, put them underneath your outer thighs for support so you can sit tall. That's great too. So notice how you feel. And don't let me rush you. If you feel like you want to climb up here and pause your practice to go get something to help yourself feel better, please do that. Take care of yourself today, please. So when you're ready, let's sit up nice and tall. Allow the hips to settle. Allow your spine to lift. Heart lifts, shoulders broaden. Put your hands to your thighs or your knees. And we'll sit up tall here. Draw the belly in a little bit as you lift. So we're going to do some opening now for the different energy centers of the body. We start with the root from the sacral chakra that goes down into the crown, that sense of groundedness that we have, of stability, of being comfortable and safe in the world. So we want to sit up tall here. Find the length of your spine. Take a breath in. On your exhale, we'll tilt to your right and circle around. So the point of this is, notice as you're circling, your sit bones kind of swiveling around the place where you sit, your perineal area, pressing in. Notice your connectedness to the ground here. Breathe. Connectedness with the ground that is balanced by the lifting of your body, the lifting of your spine. And we'll reverse it, take it other way. Circling, noticing, grounding. Good, and we'll circle around, come back to center, sit up. And we'll go from here into a little camel ride where you can hold on to your knees, your shins, but we'll sit up tall first, lift the heart. On your exhale, you're going to scoop the hips under, round your spine behind you, and then sit up on your inhale. And exhale, round. So do that at your own pace in a way that feels comfortable for you. And rounding on your exhale, sitting tall on your inhale, just take it at your own pace. So we're inhaling as we sit up tall, pressing it out, blowing it out as we exhale. Good. And then coming up to sitting, we're moving on up. We've done the sacral, the grounding. We've done truly sacral, pressing back and forth. Now we're moving up to the solar plexus right here, the top or the right underneath the rib cage right here. This is the center where we send ourselves out into the world, where it's really the center of our strength here. If you were doing martial arts, maybe you would think of sending your energy out from this area, the solar plexus, and right below the navel. That's the center of your being right here. So we're going to think about broadening and opening in this area, and we're going to join it up to the heart space here. A place of relationship, a place of love, a place of receiving God's presence, and that place in the heart, you know where it is, and you know what it does. So we'll take the arms out in front of us. On your inhale, let's open. So in here, you're thinking about pressing this solar plexus forward, the heart opens. And on your exhale, give yourself a hug and just let your chin drop to your chest. So there's that balance on the inhale of opening ourselves out, placing ourselves out into the world, stepping out, but then we have to balance that out by gathering in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Take it at your own pace. What do you feel? What do you feel physically here? How is this for your body? What do you feel mentally here? How is it spiritually to open this heart to receive God's living water, to quench those thirsts that we have? And close. Gather your heart in. You know, the scripture says to us, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Another translation says, guard your heart, for from it flow the issues of life. So we always want to think about those safe boundaries, guarding our hearts with God's peace. Guard your heart this morning with God's peace. And then releasing your arms down, roll your shoulders up and back. And then we'll move up from the heart space. We've come from the ground all the way up, lifting to the throat so that we can speak our truth, so we can find our voice, so we can open pathways for the breath. So we're going to do lion's breath today. And we'll take a breath in. On your exhale, your tongue comes out, your throat opens, your eyes look up. And so inhale, exhale, tongue comes out, eyes open. Couple more times. Bottom of this exhale, soften your throat, soften your face. Think about the tongue resting on the floor of your mouth and feel the openness of the throat space. What do you want to say today? How do you feel? How do you want to express yourself creatively? What does that mean for you? And then we'll come up to the brow. We want to open with our thoughts, our minds to receive God's word, God's presence. So we'll just brush side to side. Breathe. So literally, we soften the furrow in our brow. We release anxious thoughts, tension in the scalp. Good. And now we'll take our hands to our top of our head, interlace your fingers, turn your palms up. Take a breath in and press up and down. So this is our connection with the heavenlies. Pressing ourselves up, saying, here I am, I want to receive you today. I thirst, I thirst. Draw yourself into me and down. Press up and down. Pressing up and down. A couple more times. Press up, press down. One more time. Press up, press down, and pressing up here. Deep breath in and relax. Open your arms. Softly feel that space around you. Float your fingertips down to the floor. And then we'll take our fingertips to below your belly button, fingertips to the pubic bone. Reach up and out. Come to center. Pull up. Reach out. So you're protecting yourself. This is just sealing all that energy that we've acknowledged and opened today to a place of protection. Good. So we've gotten those places open, and now we're going to come to our bodies and give ourselves a little bit of ease and release and nurturing today. When we thirst, we need a drink of water, and we feel cared for and nurtured, a little juicy. So we're just going to take our hands to our scalp, a little massage all around. Notice, how does the skin on your scalp feel? Are the muscles underneath your scalp all tense from all that pondering, thinking, living in your head? Just let it go. Good. And so we'll move down to the back of our neck. Give your neck a little massage, sending out self-compassion through your hands, through your fingertips, to yourself. Softening here, rejuvenating, juicing up. And then we'll come to the forehead again, spread apart. Soft. Good. And to your jaw, give your jaw a little massage. And work your way down to the chin. So you want to come down to the point of your chin. Take thumbs under, fingers on top, and pull side to side. Little stretching smile there today. Come on up to your ears, and then give your ears a good rub. So if you remember, there are lots of acupressure points in your ears, just as there are in your feet. So when you work your ears, you work your whole body. And so do you notice that? As you work in your ears, maybe your whole body starts to go, ooh, that feels good. I like it. I like it. Maybe you don't. See how it feels for you. Inside and out. And then we'll take the tops of our ears, draw them straight up. Breathe. Ears out. Pull them out like a little elf. And then take the lobes of your ears, draw them down towards your shoulders. Breathe. So as you pull on your ears, it releases tension in the scalp around the ear. So you want to take your peace fingers, one on front, one behind, and rub up and down. I don't want to miss this, so I'm going to take off my glasses. You can do the same. Ah, yes, that feels good. I like that. Good. Wonderful. Good. All right. So what was I thinking? Anyway, so let's take our hand across to one shoulder. Give yourself some squeezes. Now, the orientation here is to squeeze and lift toward, always want to be working toward the heart. So you start close to you and you move away from you, but you're always thinking about rubbing, encouraging circulation to go up towards your heart, down to your wrists. And we'll do it again. Some love squeezes for the arms today. Yes, other side. You can turn your arm up and do it both sides. Yes. And let's go other side. Shoulder. Make your way down your arm. Yes. And we'll do that again. Squeeze. Wake it up. How's that feeling for you? Are you feeling like your skin is waking up a little bit, like you're moving some fluids around, maybe getting things going here? Let's do the inside of your arm as well. You know, you have your lymph system that you're working too. So you're getting it all those juices flowing this morning. And we'll take the wrists and circle your wrists around both ways. Maybe do a little hula, side to side. Breathe. Yes. And then we'll take the hands up, make a little fist, and open, and fist, and open, and fist, and open them out, and fist. So this is what we used to do in chair class, where we would go, okay, so you take your fist, you make a claw, growl, and open, and close. Growl, and open, and growl, and close. One more time. And open, and close. And then shake out your hands, shake out your body, shake out your arms. Nice. And then we'll come to the breast tissue. Give yourself a little massage here all around the breast, because you want to get your lymphatic system moving all around the rib cage, down your side body. Good. All around the belly. Make some circles. And breathe. Oh, good. So let's take the legs out. We'll reach forward. Give your legs a little massage. So you're reaching out towards your ankles, coming back up, squeezing, pressing, pulling up toward the heart, going around your knees, behind your knees too. All around behind. And up through your thighs, up around the hips, and then come around behind you. Give your rear end some little thumps. Breathe. And we'll do it again. So reach forward, massaging up around the knees. So, you know, you can pause this and take as long as you want. You don't have to follow me. You can say, I'll see you later, and just continue doing this as long as you like. And come around behind, thump it out. Hear that? What do we say? We're making biscuits this morning? Yes, we are. We are making some biscuits. And so shake it out, deep breath. So we'll do that again. Shake it out, deep breath, blow it out. Notice how you feel. Feel a little life and energy moving through your body this morning? I hope so. So let's take one of your feet, and we're going to give ourselves a foot massage today. And so we'll start just by squeezing around on your foot there, just to say hello. Check in. And then we'll take one toe at a time. Give yourself a little twirl of the toe, like you're rolling a little ball of dough, and then pull it. We'll go to the next toe. So roll it around, give it a tug, roll it around, breathe, give it a tug, roll around, breathe, tug it, and go to the next toe. I'm at my big toe already. Good, and then we'll take either your hand on top of your toes and move back and forth, or you can interlace your fingers between your toes here. You can get them in there. And then move the toes back and forth. It's good to spread out your toes so that you have nice, strong foundation so that your balance is better. Breathe back and forth. Breathe it. And then circle out your ankle. So you want to soften out in the ankle, soften your foot. Turn it around and around. And then you'll take your thumbs and massage down the sole of your foot. So find the ball of your foot, press in. Give it a little love, just pressing in. Notice if you have any tender points in the bottom of your foot. Move all the way down to the heel. And then glide your thumbs back up the sole of your foot. We're just going to glide up. Good. And also then you're going to take your fingers and Go down the outer ridge under your baby toe there, back and forth. That feels nice. Press in, see how it feels. And you can take your thumb and do the instep. Good. And then we're going to do some ringing. So you'll take your foot, ring it back and forth like a dish rag, but you're going to travel up your foot. Move up your foot, up around your ankle, up towards your calf. If you want to pause and go all the way up your leg, up your body, up your head, that's fine too. And then come down to your foot, and we'll take your foot, shake it out. Give it a little tap. Press it out and down. So notice now the difference between your feet. How does that feel? So let's wake up the other foot. Take it in, and we'll say hello. Give it some squeezes. Breathe. Your little foot. There it is. That is your foot. Carried you around all over the place. Geez, since you were probably about a year old, these feet have just carried you everywhere, running, jumping, sitting, all, your life. So, okay, let's start with our toes. Start with your baby toe, give it a little twirl and a little tug, and we'll go to the next one. Twirl and tug. Twirl and tug, and now notice your breath. Come home to yourself. Settle in. You can close your eyes if you like while you do this. Be mindful. Breathe. Good. So when you're finished with your twirling and your tugging, you can take the toes back and forth. So either with your hand on top or fingers in between. And back and forth like that. Oh, get out there. Back and forth. How does that feel? And then circling out the ankle. So when you circle out your ankle, consciously relax your ankle so you're not fighting yourself. Just let it be very passive. A little passive twirl here. Oh, good. That's so nice, isn't it? So let's take the thumbs on the sole of your foot. Give yourself a little massage there, down the sole of your foot, noticing any place that feels tight or stuck. Juicing up your body today, relieving the thirst of your body for openness, for receptivity. And then we'll glide the thumbs up the sole of your foot. Good. And you can also bicycle. You can hold on to the big toe side, the pinky toe side, and twirl it around. Just kind of hold on and swirl it around a little bit. And then take the outside underneath your pinky toe, that ridge there on the outside of your foot. About that. And the instep, arch, give that a little rub. Good. And so something on this side you might want to remember is you do have the top of your foot. So you can just take your fingers and glide between those bones, this, metatarsals, yeah. Yeah. Go back to my anatomy training here. What is that? It's your foot. Bones in your foot, right? Good enough. And up, and maybe across, strum across from ankle to ankle. Good. And then we'll ring, hold on and twist. Sort of like a dish rag here. Up and back. Ooh, that feels good. And then we'll take hold of your ankle, shake it out. Good, pat it out. Press it out and let it go. And sitting up tall here. How are you? Are you a new body? Are you a new person now? So let's flex and point through your feet. Sit up tall, flex and point. Good, and circle the ankles one way, circle your ankles another way. You can do your wrists at the same time if you like. Sort of makes sense, but breathe, notice. So coming back to center, I'm asking you this morning, what are you thirsting for? What does that look like for you? Let's come around to all fours. Why don't we? Shall we? And come to all fours here. We'll just do a little cat-cow. Continue our spinal release here. So inhale, look up into cow. Exhale, round. And inhale up. Exhale, round. Good. So follow it at your own pace for a little bit. Maybe wag your tail a little bit here. Wagging the hips side to side. Good. And come to center and tuck your toes. And we'll press back into downward facing dog. So press back into your dog for today. Press back. One heel, other heel. So remember, your shoulders stay broad. One heel down, other heel down. Energy through the legs. So you're pressing out through your legs firmly in your thighs here, and then pressing your heels down toward the mat. You think about pressing the tops of your thighs backwards. That's one way to look at it. Come up on your toes if you can. Press your heels down. And on our inhale, we'll drop our knees, release your toes, press back to child's pose. Reaching out ahead. And then climbing over to the left side, reach out on the diagonal. Take a breath here. And we'll climb other way. Reaching out on the diagonal, take a breath there. Just notice where you're feeling this and press into any place where you feel you need that space, that life, that breath. And then come back to center. We'll press up to all fours, tuck your toes under, press back to downward facing dog. And so if you can maintain down dog, you can stay here. If you'd like to come down to all fours and just take one leg back, lift it up, and open it, you can go there. If you want joyful pose in down dog, you can come to down dog, lift one leg up, way back behind you, bend that knee, and open your hip, press way back. Yes, how does that feel? You can stretch your leg out, you can bend it. All the while, keeping your abdominals engaged, your core stays strong here. Stretch that leg out. Place your foot down. And we'll take other leg out. So if you're on all fours, just take one leg out, lift it up, open it out, kind of like that fire hydrant, the old Jane Fonda fire hydrant. Take it out, press it out and in, and experience that. If you're in down dog, you take your opposite leg way up, take it out and up, press back. Bend your top leg, open your hip. So you want to keep your abdominals drawn in, your rib cage snuggled in, the bottom of your ribs snuggled in. Press the leg out, draw it in. And replace your foot next to your other foot, or if you're in all fours, just come to all fours. And then we'll all walk our feet to our hands. Hands back to your feet. And we will come to standing. So come up to your knees. Bring yourself slowly up to standing in whatever way feels comfortable for you. So today we're going to work a little bit on shoulders, opening the shoulders, but I want to show you something. I'm going to talk to you about alignment a little bit and how alignment can influence, good gracious, where are we? How alignment can influence your flexibility. So come to standing with me, and we'll just stand up nice and tall in mountain pose. And notice your shoulders, we'll just kind of ease them up and back. So notice what it feels like to stand in mountain pose and draw your shoulders up toward your ears and down. So get the feeling of the difference between shoulders hiked up and shoulders down. So let's notice something. Take your shoulders up and then lift your arms in front of you and see how far up they can go. Okay, and then take it down. And then relax your shoulders down. Do it again. Reach up, see how far your arms can come up. So I'm imagining that as your shoulders are away from your ears, you have a lot more flexibility in that socket there. So just notice how that feels. Okay, so resting the shoulders down. Now we're going to reach forward and take your shoulder blades apart from each other on your back. So you're reaching forward, the shoulder pulls forward in the socket there. So this is like having a forward bending posture. So we're thinking about reaching forward, shoulder blades come apart on your back. Lift your arms up, see how far you can go. Try that. And then take it down. And then broaden your collarbones, neutralize your shoulders in their socket. So the wide chest, shoulders are soft away from your ears, neutral in the sockets there, take your arms up. So if you notice, if your shoulders are not drooping forward, you have a lot better range of motion, a bigger range of motion. Does that make sense? So that's why when we talk about everything that we do in our yoga class, we want to keep the shoulders very neutral and stable in their sockets and not reaching up, not pulling forward. Even if you pull them back like the army, chest out, soldier, if you do that, you're not going to go very far at all. But if you're neutral, you have this wonderful flexibility. See? So let's take your strap or your scarf or your towel. I'll use a towel just in case a lot of you are using that. So it's a little bulky, but you can hold on to it. And we'll take a wide stance. Let's take your arms out. So neutral wrist. You don't want your wrist to be folded up or down, just in line with the rest of your arm. So standing up nice and tall, find your groundedness in your feet. And on your inhale, raise your arms up. Keeping the shoulders down and neutral. And then down. And take them up. And down. Good. And we'll take our arms up. So let's see, your right arm up by your ear. Remember to keep that shoulder compressed. Just keep it neutral and lifted. The opposite arm will come out to the side and we'll just pull it back. So you might have to lower your hand on your towel or your strap a little bit. So we're just opening in the chest here, the opposite side of your chest. Breathe. So notice. Legs are strong, tummy is in, heart lifted. So you're like a little sailboat sailing along here. And then come up to center and we'll go other way. Take your left arm up, right arm comes out behind you. So then notice the shoulders very soft. Breathe. Good. And then we'll come up to neutral. Take your, whatever this is, your towel, scarf, whatever, down. So you might need to widen your grasp a little bit more. Just play with this in case you don't have the length to go all the way up and over, or if you have shoulder issues that keep you from lifting up and then coming behind you. I'll show you where we're going. We'll inhale up, keep your shoulders soft, and then you're going to soften the shoulders, reach way back behind you, and come through. And we'll inhale up. Ooh, maybe hesitating here if you want to. Find your breath, open the chest, and down. So this is truly a heart opener. Inhale up. So notice when you come back like this, it's nice wings coming back. The heart really opens. Breathing into that space. And down. And then we'll do it one more time. Come on up. And relax down. Ooh, how does that feel? Ease out your shoulders there. You do a little squirming around, just feel good. Maybe a little twirl. Yeah, that's fun. Take your strap, twirl it around. Good. Good. So let's take that down now. Good. And we'll come to center. So you're going to turn sideways on your mat. Well, where are we? So yeah, just take the legs out nice and wide. Here. And we'll stretch the arms out. So your feet are turned out a little bit. We're going to come to sitting here. Moon goddess pose here. So press down, press the thighs out, and inhale, reach out, and in, and sit, and open, out, wide, shine, and down, with strength. Open and in. And opening here, take the arms out, turn your toes to your right or your left, whichever way you like to go here today. You're keeping your hips as forward as you can. Facing forward here, and then just kind of bend into that, where the toes are facing out, just bend into that side. I'm gonna play with a little warrior two here. And on your inhale, press up. Exhale, float the arms out. Inhale, press up strongly with that front leg. Exhale, out. The energy streams out from your heart through your fingertips. Lift up, press out. And then take your gaze over your front fingertips. Breathe. And we'll take that forearm to the thigh or the knee. Press out. And we'll take the opposite hand to your hip. Press through. And then reach up long. So we're a little side stretch here. Yes. Extended side angle. So we haven't really opened our side bodies yet. So we want to press through, press up and out. Breathe. And on your inhale, come up. And take the hands down. Now we'll take the right arm up and behind you. Left arm comes around. So you can either take hold of your hands here or just reach one toward the other. Nice and tall. Take a breath. We're going to do a little forward fold like this. So bending your knees. Long forward fold. Just let yourself hang. Breathe. Notice the backs of your legs. You might feel a little opening there. On your inhale, come on up. And release. Open into five-pointed star, other way. So I'm going to press into warrior two. Notice that your hips are in line with your shoulders, ears in line with your shoulders. Pressing out through the back foot. Pressing into the center of your front foot. So you want to be very stable here, side to side. And on your inhale, come up. Exhale, open and just blossom. Inhale, lift. So this is with strength. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale out and hold. Take your gaze over your front fingertips. Heart is open. And then that forearm comes to your thigh. Other hand to your hip. So you press through. So you don't want to be just breaking at the waistline. You want to press through and then nice and long through your side body. So you can feel it from the outside of your back foot all the way up in that long line. And breathe. Open your chest. Strong in your legs. Strong legs. And then press up. Come to center, come to five-pointed star. Take your opposite hand up and behind you. Other hand comes around. Take a breath, look up. And exhale, forward fold. You need to release your arms so you don't fall on your face. That's fine too. It's always a good thing not to fall on your face. So I'm going to talk to you, so I'm going to come up. So let's firm your thighs while you're here. Allow the crown of your head to drop toward the mat. Good. Now let's release our arms. Take your hands down in front of you. And press your sit bones up toward the sky. So from here, we're going to go into a little twist. So let's widen your feet. Take your hands underneath your shoulders so that you can lengthen your spine. So it's almost like a wide-legged down dog. So your spine can be very long here. So let's leave your left hand on the floor. Take your right hand around to the small of your back or your lower back. And make sure that your hip isn't hiking up one way or the other, but you're very central and the weight is distributed equally in your feet. Gather up the strength of your legs here. Now drop your right hand down toward the floor. On your inhale, you're going to lift it up and twist. So you're doing a little forward fold twist here. Breathe. Oh, send your breath through your nose, down your spine, spiral, and exhale down. And then we'll go the other way. So take your opposite hand up to your lower back. Find center there so it's not hiked up sideways. Release your hand back down so you can start from the bottom here. And inhale, lengthen your spine. And then twist coming up. So find your twist. You want to lengthen out from your belly button to your sternum. Firm in your legs. Breathe. And exhale, come down when you're ready. Good. And then bend your knees here and we'll walk our feet together. Take your knees down to the mat. Come back to sitting, sit off to the side. Ooh, so we're just going to sit off to the side in our mermaid pose. So our hips are settled to the sides of our feet. Let me put you in a place where you can see this. We'll sit off to the side here. Take our arms up. So you want to tuck your tail a little bit here. If you're arching forward, you might hurt your lower back. So scoop the tail in. Scoop here's your mermaid tail up here. But your physical, your people tail is tucked in a little bit. Take arms up. Take the bottom hand, take hold of that top wrist, and just give yourself a little pull sideways, and then release. And we'll take other side. So you're sitting off, your mermaid tail is out to the side. You're sitting up tall. Let's take our arms up. And we'll take hold of the opposite wrist and give yourself just a little side bend here. Good. And then coming up to center, take your arms down. And we'll swivel around and come to rest. So just resting back. Draw your knees with you to your chest. Stretch the legs up, arms overhead. And just shake it all out if you want. Shake out everything. Going back to that place of juiciness. Juicing up your body. Juicing up your heart. I'm going to sit up so you can stay there. And then coming to rest with on your back, knees are bent. Allow your back to fully settle into the support of your mat underneath. And then we'll just gather in here. Begin to let go of thoughts of holding on, moving. What are we doing next? We're just right here, right now. So listen to your body. And today, it's yogi's choice. Do whatever you would like to do to finish your practice before you rest fully into Shavasana, your resting pose, final relaxation. Easy breath. Listen to your body and stretch and move. And then we'll make our way back to center and stretching out one leg, other leg toward the corners of your mat. Allow your belly to soften, your chest to soften. Maybe your palms will turn up and your arms can be a little distance from your body, maybe 6 to 12 inches, whatever. Making yourself comfortable. Notice your scalp, notice your neck if you need to. Maybe rock your head side to side a little bit. Whatever would feel good for you right now. And then settling into a place of quiet. And as we settle into that place, I'll share with you once again the scripture from Psalm 63 for today. O God, you are my God. I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So we're going to rest here for a few minutes and then come on up to finish with our meditation, with our cup for today. So take a moment to allow your mind and your body to settle. the heart rest. Slowly sipping in the breath as deeply as you can. And then exhaling, softening. And with a very quiet mind and mindful body, just roll over onto one side. And we will press up quietly to sitting. And as you make your way to sitting, I invite you to take your bowl, cup it in your hands. And as we move into our breath here, our breath prayer for today is breathing in, we pray, thirsting, thirsting. Your exhale will say, for you, God. Breathing in, thirsting. Breathing out, for you, God. So holding your empty cup in your hands, notice the emptiness. And let the emptiness of your cup remind you of your yearnings. For whom and what do you most yearn or thirst? And now hold the cup close to your heart. And in this place, I invite you to notice your thirst for God, for God's presence. And as you breathe in, I invite you to be filled with God. On your inhale, filled with God. On your exhale, rest. God, of your goodness, give me yourself, for you are enough for me. I can ask for nothing less that is completely to your honor. And if I do ask for anything less, I shall always be in want. Only in you I have all. Only in you I have all. Breathing. And listen as God says to us today, I will quench your thirst for many longings on this plane, but you will never know complete relief until the day you step through the veil, until I draw you to myself in the heavenly realms. Your thirst in this body and your wholehearted seeking of my face day to day are stepping stones into my arms. I call you to offer refreshment to the other weary travelers who are your companions on this journey. Reach out in love. Offer a cup of living water for my sake. All these things we do and pray for the glory of God and for the sake of Christ. Amen. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Shalom. Oh, thank you for coming. Enjoy your day. Go get a nice cool drink of water and enjoy God's presence today. We'll see you next time. I love you.